Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host, and today we're diving into The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, a novel that's equal parts Gothic mystery, philosophical dialogue, and glittering social satire. It's a haunting tale about beauty, vanity, and moral corruption, wrapped in Wilde's signature wit and decadence. At its heart lies a chilling question. What happens when the cost of eternal youth is the decay of the soul? Let's step into this dark, seductive world together, so you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. The story begins in Victorian London, in the elegant studio of Basil Hallward, a painter who has just completed his finest work, a portrait of a young man named Dorian Gray. Dorian is strikingly beautiful, with an almost otherworldly innocence, and Basil is captivated by him, believing he represents a new ideal of aesthetic purity. While Basil paints, they're joined by Lord Henry Wotton, a charming, cynical aristocrat who lives by the creed of pleasure above all else. And it's Lord Henry who plants the seed of the story's tragedy. With his silky voice and dangerous ideas, Lord Henry tells Dorian that youth and beauty are the only things worth having, and that one day, those gifts will fade. Dorian listens, transfixed. When the portrait is finished, he's struck by its beauty and by the sudden awareness that he will age while the painting stays young. In a moment of desperate, half-serious longing, he makes a wish. If only the painting could age instead of him. And mysteriously, that wish is granted. From that moment on, Dorian Gray remains young and flawless, while the portrait, hidden away in a locked room, bears the marks of his sins, his cruelty, his decline. At first, it's subtle. He falls in love with Sybil Vane, a young actress, enchanted by her talent and beauty. But when she falters in her performance one night, losing the magic that made her so compelling to him, Dorian coldly rejects her. Devastated, Sybil takes her own life. And when Dorian sees the painting the next day, he notices a hint of cruelty in its expression, a sign that it's begun to reflect who he is, not just how he looks. Rather than change his ways, Dorian leans into Lord Henry's philosophy, chasing pleasure, indulging in every vice, moving through society with charm and scandal in equal measure. The years go by, but Dorian never ages. He becomes a figure of fascination, youthful, beautiful, and mysterious. Yet all the while, the portrait grows uglier, darker, more grotesque, showing the truth he keeps hidden from the world. His soul is rotting. The novel's second half spirals into paranoia and decay. Dorian becomes increasingly isolated and haunted. When Basil Hallward confronts him, begging him to repent, to turn back from the path he's on, Dorian shows him the painting and then, in a fit of rage and shame, murders him. It's a turning point. From there, Dorian plunges deeper into guilt and fear. He tries at times to be good, but his gestures are shallow, and the portrait continues to reflect not redemption but hypocrisy. The novel builds toward a chilling climax. Desperate to free himself from the burden of the portrait, Dorian decides he must destroy it, that if he can just eliminate the evidence of his corruption, he might be free again. He stabs the painting with a knife. But when the servants hear a scream and break into the locked room, they find something horrifying: a withered, aged corpse on the floor, and the portrait restored to its original beauty. Dorian Gray is dead. The truth has finally caught up with him. The Picture of Dorian Gray is not just a story about vanity or the dangers of beauty. It's a meditation on conscience, influence, and the split between appearance and reality. Wilde warns us that the pursuit of eternal pleasure without moral responsibility leads not to freedom, but to ruin. The painting becomes a mirror of the soul, a silent witness to the cost of living without consequence. Thank you for tuning in to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. If you enjoyed this eerie, glittering journey through the Picture of Dorian Gray, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading. And remember, the face you show the world is never the whole story.